Oh, we are a chemical plant. We have been doing what we're doing now for 60 years.
Look in the camera.
And in order for us to develop it further, there's no other ways of using knowledge to improve what we're doing.
Okay.
You can, when you're doing in business, you can follow different routes to improve your bottom line. We have chosen to invest quite heavily in knowledge, in projects that will have a huge environmental impact, but also a profitable impact.
Yes.
They are trying to find the interaction between profit and environmental impact is giving us a lot more positive feedback also from the society.
Yes, it is, but you're at the sharp end. You have to balance this on a day-to-day basis. And without being insolent, one could say that talk is cheap when it comes from a podium. But you're out in the real world and you have to find the balance between having a sustainable economy and a sustainable business in terms of environment. When does it hurt the most?
Well, we did a huge investment back in 2012. When we evaluated it, it looked quite safe, but when you invest in a new technology, you never know the risk involved in it. And when you put the whole balance sheet behind the investment, you know that you're in it all in.
It's your own pocketbook and your family's pocketbook.
And then things never go as planned.
Yes.
So since 2012, we had 5 years of really trying to struggle in order to make sure that the investment should be profitable, because there was a lot of barnesykdommer, childhood diseases for the project, and then you need to have the stamina to get through that, and there's nobody helping you doing that, because the way that government grant is formed is like that. You get the grant, but just before you have the investment. Afterwards, you have to be on your own.
I understand.
So there's no way of getting extra money after you've done the investment.
So with your experience, would you be saying that you could have been telling the authorities a little bit about how they could support the next venture and the next business wanting to do something like you've done?
Make sure that the ones leading the development is the one that's being supported the most, because the ones leading is always the ones that are taking the biggest risk. Once that is done, the risk level goes dramatically down, because then somebody has gone the path before you. They've reduce all the potential bugs that will be always with a huge technology investment. They reduce that risk at quite a low level compared to actually doing it the first time.
So your business is in the Arctic. I mean, in Norway usually say, well, we're in North Norway, but we've learned to say that we're in the Arctic, and it's true. How does the project that you run in your business, how is it relevant also to the Arctic policies, do you think?
Well, climate change is thought to have to implicate the Arctic the most.
Yes.
But we don't think of us as an Arctic company. We are a Norwegian company. We're like a global company.
Yes.
We just try to use all the potential that we see for investments as any other company. We don't feel that we should be treated differently for just being Arctic.
Clearly. So, final question. You're part of an international business, chemical industrial business. Does the project you run in your company, does it collect any interest? Do you get any interest from your industry globally?
Yes. One of the big dilemmas that we see now in today's discussion about climate change is that everybody's just talking about who has the highest goals, but nobody's talking about what are we going to do with it. How do we actually solve the problems of reducing our CO2 emissions? Because if you look at the emissions from the Norwegian industry, for example, all the easy projects, they are completed now.
Dealt with,
Yeah.
So it's only the complexity left.
And the really, really costly ones to clean CO2 from the process emissions, extremely expensive if you're using the conventional ways.
Yes.
And It can be done. I know that you will be leading one of the initiatives from Aker, and
carbon capture is still very much on the agenda.
But like, who is going to take the cost for that?
It's huge.
You need, at least in my point of view, is that the consumers that is consuming, they need to take the cost for it.
Yes.
Because I'd say the intermediaries are like the factories. Well, we can take part of the cost, but we need to move the costs further along to the ones that actually are generating it, and those are the consumers. But today there's no such link. Like if you want to buy a car today, nobody thinks about how much CO2 went into making that car.
No, I understand.
So you need to establish the link between the producer and the one actually consuming the items. And
I think that's a very profound thought. Mr. Wintervoll, thank you very much for sharing those thoughts with Arctic Talks. Thank you.
Thank you.